Welcome back, everybody, to Fullback Friday, your weekly dose of fullback content here on the MillerFootball channel. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is David. I also go by MillerFootball, and today we've got 8 plays from Week 3 to take a look at. I'm going to be honest, I'm in a little bit of a rush today because it has been a long day. I've had a lot going on. I've got a D&D session to DM here in just a couple hours, but I always have the ability to make some time for fullback. So we're going to run through these 8 plays. We're going to keep it short and sweet where we can. Obviously not going to skip out on any of the juicy details, but we're not going to sit and paint grandiose pictures where we don't need to. Sometimes guys are just doing their job, and that's all that needs to be said. So the plays we're going to take a look at this week, we've got some familiar names, some returning names from last week's Fullback Friday, including the man on your screen right now, Mr. Reggie Gilliam, who we will get to in just a moment, as well as some guys who aren't necessarily traditional fullbacks, quote-unquote. Some guys stepping in as backups, and even a versatile Swiss Army knife player who plays a little fullback, plays a little tailback, plays a little tight end, plays a little quarterback. Probably not the guy you're thinking of, someone who is in their first year in the league that set up a pretty big run this week. We'll get to him a little bit later. Like I said, we're going to start off with Mr. Reggie Gilliam of the Buffalo Bills here, Sledge himself, lined up on the left side of this play. And this is going to be pretty straightforward. It's a 9-yard run from James Cook, and we're just going to see Reggie Gilliam lead him through the hole. So go ahead, bring a tight end in motion, and Gilliam's job is pretty apparent, right? We are lead blocking for James Cook. The unlucky victim is going to be number 20 here, the linebacker, and Gilliam is going to do a good job of locating him, bracing for contact, making that contact, and opening up so James Cook has a wide open lane here. You see we've got a nice block here. A great block by Gilliam, and James Cook is going to be able to explode through that hole for, like I said, about a 9-yard pickup. So once again, just taking a look at that, we've got Gilliam lead blocking, does a good job of quickly locating his target. He gets low, he gets his hands on him. Maybe not the best hand placement, but as I've said a couple times in the past couple videos, it's not always about how pretty the block is, it's about how effective it is. So sure, maybe you want to see those hands on the chest or something like that, but at the end of the day, we've got the head on the shoulder, we've got the low man here is the fullback, and 20 is unable to make a play as, like I said, James Cook is going to shoot through that hole and pick up 9 on first down here towards the end of the first quarter. Moving here to our second play, we've got Mr. Scott Matlock of the LA Chargers, who once again is going to do something pretty straightforward, but it's a very good block, and it's going to help spring a 7-yard run from Najee Harris. We'll go ahead and take a look here. Matlock, his job from the jump is pretty straightforward. Seal off this edge defender and make it so he can't get to the running back, right? Not necessarily full-on lead blocking. We're not just hitting the first guy we see. Looks like we have a prime directive here, and that is Jonathan Cooper. So you see Matlock does a very good job of getting low right here. He's going to stand up the edge defender. What I like the most about this play is not only is he getting physical here with the initial contact, kind of absorbing the hit that Cooper was trying to lay, or I guess vice versa, Cooper kind of put himself down, so Matlock went for the bear hug method. Matlock does a good job of resetting that hand that we can see right here, gets it into the chest of the defender, and that's going to open up for Najee Harris to run right off Matlock's ass pretty much, and then right off the tight end's ass. Again, I talk about it all the time. Back to the back, we've got exactly that. And Najee is going to end up picking up 7. If we watch Matlock on the rest of this play, like, he's playing aggressive, he's playing mean, he plays through the whistle. You see all the way to the end there, he's got a little bit of animosity towards Jonathan Cooper, and that is exactly what you want to see from your fullback. You want him to hate every single player on the defensive side of the ball, and this is one of those plays where it looks like Matlock definitely does not have a lot of love in his heart for the Denver Broncos, just love in his heart for opening up holes for his running backs. Third play here is a little bittersweet, as we're going to take a look at Rob Utes kind of snuck in there behind Kenneth Walker. And the reason I say this is bittersweet is because unfortunately Robbie Utes has been placed on injured reserve by the Seattle Seahawks. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Now the Seahawks aren't without a fullback. They do have Brady Russell still on the roster, who, played a little bit against Arizona last night and looked pretty solid, but unfortunately, he's no Robbie Utes. There's a reason why Robbie won the competition in camp. He is a stellar player. And the fact that this is the last time we'll get to talk about him for a few weeks is very unfortunate, but it's still a damn good block. And we're going to see Robbie Utes just completely erase 33 here. Jonas Sanker, his fellow rookie from Virginia, is just going to completely take him out of this play. So we'll bring a tight end in motion here. We got a little 22 personnel, and we're going to snap this ball. And like I said, Robbie's going to take care of Jonas Sanker here, and he's going to do a great job of just lead blocking for Ken Walker here. So you can see Sanker, he's kind of feeling himself. He's thinking, oh, I'm sitting here in the hole by myself. Lucky me, lucky me. I'm going to make a play here on the goal line. And Robbie says, yeah, no, you're not. He lowers the shoulder, runs into him, and then runs him like 2 yards into the end zone. You'll see there, Sanker, he kind of throws up his hands there at the end. He's like, all right, man, yeah, you got it, you got it, you got it. I am not touching Kenneth Walker. He is safe for me today. And unfortunately, the rest of the blocking doesn't hold up as well. You see Ken Walker is kind of fighting for his life back there, but does eventually get into the end zone. And it is right through the lane that Robbie created by taking Sanker out of the play. You see he's all the way back here. We've got one of the tight ends here kind of making sure he stays back as Robbie is checking in on K9, making sure he crossed the plane. He did. That's a touchdown, and that is a very, very nice block for Robbie. We'll take a look at it one more time. Again, we bring that tight end in motion. Got to pause a little bit because YouTube doesn't like when I just show plays in their entirety. Robbie locks on here. He ends up lowering the shoulder, running into the safety, runs him out of the hole, and after some crafty, aggressive fighting, Ken Walker falls into the end zone right behind Robbie Utes in the lane he opened up by once again removing that safety from the gap. Next play we're taking a look at here is not a block. It is instead our first fullback touchdown of the season. Came in week 3, and of course, to probably no one's surprise, the culprit, the scorer, Mr. Kyle Juszczyk of the San Francisco 49ers. This is going to be a pretty nice play from Juice. Nothing too crazy, but definitely well executed. We'll take a look here. Juice's role here, or his assignment, excuse me, is to chip the edge defender. If we can get this out of the way, there we go. We got to chip the edge defender here, and we just got to buy Mac Jones enough time to sell the play fake, right? He's going to fake the handoff to McCaffrey, and then he's going to roll out, and Juice is going to be waiting for him in the flat. That's the design here. So Juice does just enough to buy Mac Jones enough time to turn around and deliver this pass to him. He, of course, hauls it in. He's got the best hands any fullback in the league. And I know Baron Browning's going to get credited with the pressure here, but the play design wasn't, hey, Juice, lay Baron Browning on his ass, block him 10 yards upfield, and then release. It's a check and release, right? This is a chip block. This is a very simple, just like get him off his momentum a tiny bit. That way he gets slowed down. You see, he actually runs him into Trent Williams there, kind of further halting his momentum, excuse me. Now, Baron Browning is a very quick edge defender, so it's not like he's going to lose his full head of steam, but he does lose enough ground to allow Mac Jones to make that throw with a little bit of pressure, but not too much pressure. And it hits Juice in the chest. He grabs it, he spins it, and he takes his sip of his juice. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. That is what it's all about. That's why we do it. That's why we watch it. I love Kyle Juszczyk. I'm very biased. He's the best in the game. He's also my favorite. And this is a very, very well executed 1-yard touchdown. All right, final play we're going to take a look at here in terms of like the quote-unquote traditional fullbacks. We've got my boy Hunter Lipke, one of my favorites in the game. I know I say that about like every fullback, but truly, Juice and Lipke are my two favorites. They're my two favorites for sure. And then Robbie Utes is making a push for that third place spot. But regardless, Lipke here against my Chicago Bears is going to have a pretty nice block on a 6-yard pickup. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. Dak's going to bring a man in motion. And the play design is pretty straightforward, right? We've got Javonte Williams here out of the backfield on a swing pass. And Lipke is just kind of out in front of him as the blocker. They're going to eventually, after selling that Dak wants to look, around the field, do whatever, he is eventually just going to dump this off to Javonte, and Lipke is going to be the lone man out in front of him. And Lipke's in a pretty tough spot here, because you see at different points of this play, you've got Tyreek Stevenson, you've got Nick McLeod, you've got Kevin Byard, you've got Noah Sewell here on our right side on his left. That's 4 defenders he's got to take care of, right? That's impossible. He is not blocking all 4 of these guys. So Javonte's probably going to get brought down. Lipke instead goes, okay, I know there's 4 defenders. I can only pick one, so I'm going to do the most that I can against that one defender. And he picks Tyreek Stevenson as his unlucky victim. And this is actually kind of notable because Stevenson was the guy early on in the first quarter. This is the second quarter here. In the first quarter, he forces that fumble on Javonte Williams. So Lipke's probably thinking here, all right, you're the asshole who stole the ball from my running back. I'm going to make you pay for it. And he is going to get down, makes contact with Stevenson, and just drives him all the way out of bounds. Javonte is able to follow him, picks up about 6 there. Lipke just does a great job there, making sure he can't really do a lot of anything. You see even right about here, Stevenson, he tries to spin, thinking he can catch Lipke off guard. And Lipke goes, I don't care if you're looking forward, backwards, sideways, upside down. I don't care. I'm shoving you out of bounds. And he gets him quite a few yards out of bounds. And then eventually, Javonte is brought down after a 6-yard pickup. It's still a pretty good way to start a new set of downs. That was first down, picking up 6. Can't complain there. Take away the guy that, honestly, at this point in the game might have been the biggest threat to your running back, and did so in style, without a doubt. This play and the play after are both examples of backup tight ends stepping into the fullback role, and the reason I'm bringing them up in this video is because they've done this for more than 1 week, right? This has been a multi-week thing where these teams have basically settled these guys in as the backups for their fullbacks due to injury. Starting out, of course, with the Baltimore Ravens. Unfortunately, Pat Ricard has not played yet. It doesn't look like he's going to be playing this coming week either. So instead, they have had Zaire Mitchell-Payton in at fullback, the tight end number 84. And while he is no Ricard, because no one is, he's done a pretty damn good job. I know the Ravens as a whole have underwhelmed. Derrick Henry has really underwhelmed. But Mitchell-Payton has done exactly what he has needed to do, excuse me. And this play is going to be a prime example of that. So we'll take a look. And Mitchell-Payton's role here is pretty straightforward. He's got to pick up this linebacker, and that will open up for the King to run through, and eventually he's going to make a nice cut. And this is going to be a, 28-yard touchdown. So we see Mitchell-Payton, he gets low, and that is a crushing blow on the linebacker. Run that back, boom, he stands his ass up. He gets low, stands him right up, and that opens up for Derrick Henry to run right off his ass, among others. And you see, he kind of takes the brunt of it here at the end, but he's the one getting the last laugh because Derrick Henry is already long gone. He's about to make a single cut and explode here in the first quarter for the Ravens. You see, he's running upfield. Mitchell-Payton kind of trailing behind a little bit. And right about here, he's going to go, yep, that's a touchdown. He's throwing up the hand. He knows the Kings got it. He's going to run this one in. And again, we got to pause it a few times here on the run just to make sure that YouTube doesn't get angry at me. But Mitchell-Payton has a fun time here celebrating. You see, he hits the flex right about here. And honestly, I would say it's a deserved flex. That was a tough block. Not in terms of the difficulty per se, but if we're talking about the sheer blow that he lands here on 55, that's a tough block. That is a pretty damn good job. Standing him straight up. You see, he throws the arm up. That's how you know it's powerful. He had to throw his whole elbow into that block, and he stands him right up and opens up for the King to pick up that 28-yard touchdown, like I said. Again, not Pat Ricard, but he's doing exactly what the Ravens need him to do to help open up for Henry. The other backup fullback we're taking a look at today is Cameron Latu of the Philadelphia Eagles. You see they're wearing the number 36. He was actually brought in to play this fullback H-back role for them specifically because of Ben Van Sumeren getting hurt on the opening kickoff of the season. He's out for the year. Genuinely broke my heart. He got hurt last year soon after getting moved to fullback. You spend the whole offseason, at least I did. I'm a psycho and I spend the whole offseason fantasizing about what fullbacks are going to do. You spend that whole offseason fantasizing about, okay, we've got this run game. We've got Saquon, who just had 2,000 yards. We have Jalen Hurts, who's an elite runner. We also have some other guys in there like Will Shipley, who I'm a huge fan of. Loved him at Clemson. We've got all these names back here. Okay, Van Sumeren is going to make a name for himself. He's this hyper-athletic blocker who looked really good in the limited snaps he got. And then, again, on the opening kickoff of the season, the first kickoff of the 2025 season, he goes down, gets hurt. And it truly, truly broke my heart. But watching plays like this, it's good to know that the Eagles at least had a nice contingency plan with Latu, wearing the number 36, playing like this tight end, H-back, fullback role for them. We're going to see here, they're going to bring him in motion on 4th and 2. Keep that in mind. This is a 4th and 2 play. I almost forgot to bring that up. We're going to bring him in motion. And Latu's going to do a good job here. We're looking at Landman, who is reading the read option here. You're going to see 81 is going to pick up that block. Latu goes, oh, okay, you got it? Word. Fuck Emmanuel Forbes in particular. Absolutely throws him to the ground with one arm. I mean, this right here is really the block for me. Like, he does good in a second, too, and we'll talk about that. But, like, that right there is my favorite part of the block. because Emmanuel Forbes got, like, bitched this whole game. You know, in the fourth quarter, when the Eagles offense really took off, most of that success was them just going, oh, okay, Emmanuel Forbes is on A.J. Brown. Yeah, we're going to exploit that. And that's why A.J. Brown had that big boom. But right here, you see, even in the first quarter, Emmanuel Forbes was getting absolutely bitched. So we take care of him. We have him looking up at Quentin Lake going, you're my only hope. Latu says, no, I don't think so. We're going to get some nice contact here, knock him off his rhythm. And that is actually going to open up Quentin Lake to get blocked by Dallas Goedert here, who is leading the way for Jalen Hurts. Does a nice job of setting up that block. And then Latu at the last second is going to see Cam Curl coming up behind him. He's going to try to add to that block, and it doesn't quite go the way he wanted it to. But nice recognition there to at least see it and engage. It's just Cam Curl had way more momentum build up. Latu had to completely turn around to try to make that block. It's a difficult block to make. But to be able to toss Emmanuel Forbes the way he did and then put Quentin Lake in a prime position to get blocked is a really nice job. Again, just fuck Emmanuel Forbes in particular. That's the way this play starts. Went a little too far back. We'll check it out one more time. Just throw him to the ground. Don't care about him. We hit Lake, knock him off his lane. Goddard, you see there for a second, kind of thinks about it. He's like, do I need to worry about Forbes? No. Okay. Oh, Quentin Lake, word. Got him. And he does a good job of blocking him, getting him out of bounds. And Hurts could have had a lane there. I mean, Latu does enough to set up a lane. It's just unfortunately Hurts. He steps out of bounds there. But either way, very nice set of blocks. I mean, that's a nice 1-2 there. Almost a 1-2-3. But again, having to turn yourself completely around to wall off somebody that is running full speed at you, not exactly the easiest thing to do. So I'm not going to fault him for that one. I'm just going to sit here and laugh my ass off that he threw Emmanuel Forbes with one arm and then lined up Quentin Lake to get blocked later on in the play. And the last play we're going to take a look at here is from a true jack of all trades. Earlier in the video, I said he's a quarterback, he's a tight end, he's a fullback, he's a receiver, he's a tailback, he's a little bit of everything. He even played a snap of center in college. The man himself, Tyler Warren, the rookie out of Penn State, who I have no problem saying, look, this guy, he might not be a fullback, but he can moonlight as one, right? He can absolutely moonlight as one. He's got the toughness, the intensity, the grit, the mentality, the strength, the blocking prowess. He's got it all, and he's going to show it off on this play, which is going to be our block of the week for week 3, as he is going to spring a 46-yard Jonathan Taylor touchdown run. And I gotta say, I have seen 2 plays with Tyler Warren lined up at fullback. Maybe he's played more, I don't know. But the 2 plays I've seen is this one and him leaking out lined up as a fullback downfield for a massive gain through the air. So I think it's safe to say this is something the Colts need to explore a little bit more. So we'll take a look here. We're going to see Warren step up, and right away he locates his target. He sees number 50 here, the linebacker in front of him. He's going to sidestep here, get through the B gap, lower that shoulder, and boom, stand him up. That is a tough hit. Rewind it one more time so you can see the full hit there. Boom, stand him right up one more time. I'm addicted. Stand him right up, open up for Jonathan Taylor, and then he's going to make some guys miss because, of course, he is. He's Jonathan freaking Taylor. He's one of the most talented backs in the league, and he is going to break off a 46-yard run. I'm not going to sit here and say that Tyler Warren is the reason this touchdown happens. That would be disingenuous. This happens because Jonathan Taylor is that mother flippin' guy. But man, oh man, if this isn't a great block to start the run. Stand that linebacker up in the hole and then stare him down. Talk your shit, Rook. That is an awesome play to make. Again, to set up this run, I want to see more of Tyler Warren in at fullback. I want more of it. I need more of it. I need it injected straight into my bloodstream. I mean, this guy, his favorite player growing up was John freaking Riggins, dude. That's a fullback. Like, in his head, he is a fullback. Sure, he wears 84 because of the respect he has for Dallas Clark not wanting to take 44 from him. Sure, you know, he's listed as a tight end, whatever. In his soul, Tyler Warren wants to be a fullback. And plays like this are a prime example of that, and also why he is getting block of the week. Because come on, man, that is a tough block. Again, maybe not in terms of the difficulty, but certainly in terms of the boom he lays there. and opens up again for Jonathan Taylor on this massive run. I mean, look at that run, dude. Just breaking tackle after tackle. He spun somebody out. You get a nice block there at the end from Michael Pittman, and he finds his way into the end zone. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff all around. Almost as beautiful as Tyler Warren's luscious mane there. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below, as it does help out the channel a ton. It shows your support, it shows you care, and I really do appreciate it. Also, make sure to subscribe for more NFL content coming your way throughout the rest of the regular season into the offseason and beyond. Trying to do Fullback Friday every Friday. Obviously, I'm also doing other film breakdowns, and I plan on sprinkling in some other assorted videos once my schedule gets a little less hectic, so you definitely won't want to miss any of that. Also, make sure to let me know down in the comments below what you thought about these blocks, any players you'd like to see me check out. If your team is running a random player that maybe isn't a fullback or a tight end, someone that maybe I've overlooked at fullback, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. I'd love to look into it. I'd love to maybe make a video on it, all that good stuff. So definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But above all else, once again, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it, because you're all wonderful people, and you truly do deserve it.
Had a chance on the throwback. This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder. Wow. Using that